This is Dave. He runs a wood shop. He's struggling to collect dust from sanders when people are working. He realized it was his dust collector. Here's the story of Dave's shop, going from a low-pressure collector to a high-pressure collector. Stay tuned for the results.
Hello, my name is Mark Evertz, a General Manager of Oneida Air Systems, and today we're with Dave Hoalcraft of Sleep in Heavenly Peace about installing their second Supercell in their wood shop here. How are we doing today, Dave?
I'm doing really well. I'm very, very excited about the upgrade to our equipment with the Oneida Air Supercell TURBO.
Excellent. So why don't you tell us a little bit about Sleep in Heavenly Peace and what you guys do, and then we'll look at your dust collector.
Well, basically what Sleep in Heavenly Peace is a national organization, but what we do here locally in our Syracuse chapter is we build beds for kids and get kids beds that don't have beds right now. We get them off the floor and get them their own bed. Our mission statement is simple: no kid sleeps on the floor in our town.
That's great. That's a good cause. Why don't you show us a little bit about what you're currently doing for dust collection in this part of your shop?
And that's one of our big challenges, Mark. We used to have something like this. We had two of these, okay? This is a homegrown sort of contraption. Started with a relatively low-budgeted 1.5 horsepower dust collector. Then we said, oh, it's got to get a little better than that. And then we went and got the Super Dust Deputy, and that helped with collecting it with the cyclone kind of in there. And then we said, geez, we're always emptying it. So we end up getting a metal drum and then cobbed it together, and then we put this together. We even put a light up on it so we knew it was running when everything was all noisy. So this is truly a homegrown, and it did all right. Didn't do great. The reason it didn't do great is because we do so much sanding. We got the other Supercell, and the Supercell's in another part of our shop where we have a lot of sanders, and we found there was definitely a difference. There was definitely a difference in the amount of sawdust that was being collected. There's definitely a difference in that. And I think the biggest challenge is when you have these palm sanders running. I've got a lot of these going, it's fine dust, and I gotta rely on it getting to this cord and back into that drum. And so with that success, we were able to talk to you guys more and come in and say, hey, this is what we do. And then we said, hey, you know what? I think we have an idea. We have a new Supercell TURBO, which is a little bit stronger, that we think we can do an even better job on this other room and upgrade from this old contraption. The most important reason why we're doing this is because we have people that are volunteering here breathing this in, right? And we all know it's not good if we start breathing in all this dust. We use face masks and that kind of thing, but it really comes down to it's in the air.
And applications like this are exactly why we built the Supercell, and exactly where it shines above any other option from a dust collector standpoint that you would be able to source.
Well, we're extremely excited about this happening.
So today at Sleep in Heavenly Peace, we're going to do some testing to see how much of a difference we're able to make swapping out from a single stage blower with a Super Dust Deputy on it to a Supercell TURBO. We're going to be using a digital anemometer to do that testing, and we're going to turn the existing collector on. We're going to measure here at the 4-inch port, and then we'll also measure here at the hose cuff that connects onto the sander. Turn my unit on and set it to feet per minute that it's measuring. And we're gonna turn this guy on. Just put it right in front. So then we'll do the same test, and we're gonna close the 4-inch blast gate to get as much airflow as possible to this smaller hose, and do that test again. And we'll turn on the dust collector. The difference between the two is the frictional loss of the air moving through smaller hoses and turns, and that's caused by reductions, turns, flex hose create that loss of our air speed. As the air slows down, it's able to move less air, so your cubic feet per minute drops. It also causes your air velocity to reduce, which causes dust to settle out in the hose or in the duct. It allows it to drop out of the air column. So now we're going to remove Dave's special here that he's built, and we're going to install a Supercell TURBO. And once we're done with the install, we will go ahead and repeat that same testing and let you see the difference here in this shop. Welcome back. We have installed our Supercell Turbo here in Sleepin' Heavenly Pieces shop, and now we're going to go through and show you the testing data of the after. So that concludes our testing. We'll show you right here in our graphic data the results. And you can see that we've greatly increased the speed that the air is moving through Sleepin' Heavenly Pieces ductwork and their hoses. This will result in improved dust collection because we are drastically increasing the CFM that we're able to move through their ductwork and from their tools. All right, we're back with Dave. And Dave, we have your new Supercell Turbo in place in the shop here. It took us just a little over an hour for us to put it together. And how did you think it went?
It was nice. I'm very excited about it, and it looks really sweet up there, doesn't it?
Yeah. Okay, well, let's fire it up.
All right, you ready? 3, 2, 1. Oh, that's good. That's awesome. Yeah.
Dave, one of the other great before and after benefits of moving to the Supercell is the speed and ease and effectiveness of our filter cleaning. So if you could go ahead and show us what it looks like to clean a Supercell filter.
All right, let's turn it back on.
And how does that compare to cleaning the filter on your older system?
Well, geez, I had to take the old filter off and everything else and deal with it. This, it's done. It's done. You know, I'm a very practical kind of person when it comes to building beds in a shop. And I've said all along, one of the things that's always a challenge is that sanding, right? We talked about it at the beginning. And with that sanding, this is, you know, this obviously, it's not even a compare. It's obvious how much more of a suction and pressure that's coming in. And I absolutely look forward to it transferring down into those sanders. And bottom line, again, the practical nature is we've got people, volunteers that come in and do this sanding, and we take care of them just as well as we do taking care of kids that are getting beds. And so part of this is we're not going to make an environment full of dust. We're going to have an environment that something like, you know, this kind of unit is going to take all that dust away. So absolutely, I'm excited.
Good, awesome. Well, thank you so much. Appreciate you having us over. Look forward to seeing how it goes with your first build.
We'll stay in touch. Thank you very much.